Hello boys, Cool Yoshi here, and welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Super Mario 3D World for Nintendo Switch using Luigi. In the last episode, we left off kind of just doing some stuff, and we ended off finishing the entirety of World 4, so now we're going to go into the castle here and finish off this world. This is where things start getting really difficult because this is the first time we have to deal with an unique boss. He's not actually that hard, but his level is what makes it really challenging. So, unless you have multiple players with you, the only way to get more stuff is to use these boulders to push these switches one by one. And you need to hit both of them to continue on and get the green stars you're looking for. Okay, that time we got that properly. And they do specifically set up these jumps in a way where you can't easily go over them. This, I believe, would also include the first interaction of a new power-up, which I don't know about yet, though. Okay, never mind. It's just a cat suit again. That's cool, though. Always having a second cat suit is nice. I didn't see if there was a lava level here, so I'm waiting just to make sure there isn't. And into the secret house we go. Oh, this is an interesting puzzle. One of the tougher puzzles to do by yourself, especially because of not having the ability to do stuff. Anyways, little secret. Climb up to this left side here and you find a stamp hiding up here. And then from there, we can find the last green star hiding in here. In a later level, there will be a special power-up, the boomerang power-up, sort of used stealing the Hammer Bros boomerang power-up, but for that, we simply just deal with it using that, and it's fine. But yeah, that one we have to throw the boulder into that power-up to get that. If you're playing as a high character, you can just jump up and get it, and then kill yourself in multiplayer, and you'll respawn back in with the star there. Anyways, I thought this was a different fight, but it's actually a boulder fight. I completely forgot about that. This is actually kind of an obnoxious fight because it's one of the slower fights, and there are tricks you can do to make it faster. But anyways, we have to pick this guy up and then drop him a little bit during one of the sections, and using that we can get a quick hit on the boss like that to speed him up a little bit. We weren't able to get both quick hits, but we were able to get one, which saves a decent chunk of time on this otherwise very annoying auto-scorer boss that takes a little while to beat. Fortunately, we did take damage to him, but I kind of lied about him being one of the easier bosses. There's actually an easier boss than that. In fact, he's actually probably one of the more annoying bosses. Definitely more annoying than Bowser and Boom Boom, that's for sure. Because we absolutely destroyed those guys. But hey, at least we had our cat suit still, which is always nice to know. Right. But with that, we continue on to our next world. We're going through these pretty fast, actually, which I like, but that's gonna change pretty soon, though, because this game will get very difficult soon, at some point. And again, we need every single thing to get the 100% ending or whatever, or get everything, so we need to make sure we do that. It looks like it just auto-saves as you go through, which is really fast. Anyway, Let's start with this level. I think if you were to do multiplayer on this level, you would have clones of Captain Toad probably, or just that would probably be like red, green, and yellow and whatnot. But yeah. Yes, we have the return of those stupid platforms again. Could I please actually stun this guy? Because, the reason why I was worrying about that is because, anyway. Thankfully, this one has a little bit more control over with the touchpad than what was seen the last time. So we are able to actually just move the camera around this time to do that. Whereas previously, it was a little bit more difficult to do. But yeah. Okay, we need to build up some speed here. Because in a minute, a big guy's gonna appear. Alright, pretty straightforward, though. Well, that time I was able to deal with the touchscreen controls much more easily. We were able to move them by simply moving the screen there is good enough, which I think is pretty cool. At least we didn't have to deal with that, but there will still be more of those later on. Whatever level probably using the stat is going to be the most difficult level in the game because of these new mechanics. Because if I was playing on Wii U, I would just use the gamepad and then it'd be pretty straightforward, so... I will say, though, it does make this game a little bit more intense than it usually is. Okay, I believe this center one has a star. Or one of them. Oh, actually, I could just destroy that with that. Oh, by the way, we do actually get to see the boomerang power up in this game. Jeez, that thing's going all over the place. That's kind of weird, a Goomba head there. Okay. Thankfully, all of this takes place in one screen, so I'm not too worried about what happens. Okay, good. We saved it. Only a one up there. I think the actual secret for this is either hidden up in one of the trees or something else, because if that one had a green star, then that means I think the star we're actually looking for is hidden somewhere in the water. Also, there's a LEGR. Oh wait, I found it. There's a little tiny hole in here that we can go in. This used to be one of the hardest stars for me to find. I could never find it as Ed for a while. We're gonna send these down the line for a little bit and hope that they trigger the rest of the switches for us. Alright, got it. It's cool. Skip's having to go through some of that. Now we do need the boomerang for one particular level in particular. Later on. Cool. So that's a golden shell, in case you hadn't already noticed. That one gives you some extra coins. Also, by the way, there's a plushie section for some reason hidden in this level. Right, time to continue on for this. Right, got it. A little bit trickier, but not really too difficult of a jump to make either. Let's not deal with that. Let's just go around here to get the flagpole done, and that's it. Okay. Now, boomerang is really cool. In case I hadn't already mentioned it, it can collect green stars for you, so you can collect them from a distance. And that is required for one level in particular if you are by yourself. If you have Haltia, you can just use that and that'll work as well, though. It depends. Anyway, we're gonna go for this level first this time. Because the other one's kind of an annoying level where you can die in a lot. So we're gonna go for this one first. And it's the second force change where we have to use a different character. Well, this starts kind of weird. You have to ground pound a crack to reveal a star. And there's quite a few different ways to advance for this level. One is to use the platforms, but we don't actually need them. We're just gonna climb up to each of the areas. And the reason why I'm not doing anything with this right now is because I need the stamps to get this level stamp. We need a Toad for this in this case. Luigi's level will be coming up fairly shortly, though. And then there's another one where we need Rosalina as well, in addition to that. So, yeah. We'll be seeing a little bit of each character, at least a little bit. And now we get to see Blue Toad in this case, since there's also Captain Toad. Just regular Blue Toad's only appearance for right now. We might have to use them later, though, because eventually we'll have to do the levels again with all the characters, anyway. Oop. I was wondering when that would happen. Thankfully, we could just exit the course to retry it. We can also try it again if we lose our power-ups for some reason. Okay, we need to actually change here. So this is Blue Toad's one appearance, and this is required for a switch you see right now on the right side. Right here, you go around here, you pound the switch and get a stamp. Only Toad can attain it. Now, Toad does have his major uses. He is the fastest character in this game and is particularly useful for one level that you'll see later on that will make it a lot easier, especially if you have the... What is that? The Tanuki suit on him. It makes that level a lot more challenging. He also has arguably the cutest of the catsuit oats in terms of the costumes. Second to probably only Princess Peach, which I like probably the most out of all of them. But then again, that makes sense. Beyond that, I actually don't really know which character I like better, so I don't know. Again, I'm only going with Luigi because he's the most straightforward character to use. Arguably the character I recommend beginners play because he has a higher jump that lets him complete certain platforms faster. He does not have Peach's hover though, so that does make certain levels more difficult. And anyways, we have to go into Chicky Chappi's feeder now. Unfortunately, this one is a little bit more difficult than others. Particularly if you were using Mario in this one, is pretty difficult. But then again, I was using Mario for basically the entire game at one point, so it definitely has its difficulty. And yes, this is the hard level in this world. Chicky Chappi's feeder. When I first played this level, I died quite a few times. Very annoying to get through. The only good news is whenever you die, you get stuff. Also, there's a big mushroom or whatever hidden somewhere, so for that purpose, we're just gonna swap over to this power-up for a second, just in case I happen to get that, so I don't lose the catsuit out of pure accident. He's surprisingly fast in this. Okay, we got it. Alright, dealt with that. And there it is right there. We're not gonna actually get it. Screw it, we don't need it at all. Now, I believe in one of these later levels, there's a really strange star where in order to make it spawn, you have to kill a bunch of enemies. So, I'm just trying to remember that as I go along here. Okay, I'm gonna actually do a setup for this just to have a... Wait, maybe it's not the best idea. I don't know. Anyways, time for one of the trickier coin setups. With Luigi, it's actually possible to over-jump these. And yeah, I actually missed it. There's only one thing we can do to respawn it. Die on purpose. I think short hopping nose is probably best. And you know what? I'm just going to go straight for this to save a little bit of time. Because we did already get the stamp, so we could just go straight into it again. And that's why I didn't use the catsuit initially for this one. Oh, jeez. The worst is when you try and go up to these and not even get enough height to reach the chappies that you want. Ah! And there, that can happen. If you don't do momentum jumps, that happens. That's what makes this such a tough level. And it's only tough because of that one part. Had that part not been in there, it'd be another easy level. So yeah. Definitely the hardest level that I know of in this world. And that's the part, by the way, where I died quite a bit. My best way of dealing with it is to try and just momentum each of these jumps. And holy that. There now I suddenly made it look a lot more straightforward, but whatever. By the way, we're not done yet. There's still one whole jump we need to do. And that's what I thought would happen, but wait. I was joking, by the way. Now you see why I put that on a little bit sooner. That just saved me from dying. If we had not done that, we would have straight up died there. That's like the third save I've had in this game so far. That's what makes the catsuit so powerful, is especially as a Luigi with his higher jump weight, you're able to make some jumps that are otherwise impossible for other characters. With cat momentum, though, you could straight up just skip that entire part and not have to worry about it, but we had to kind of do it normally, unfortunately. And now we have the final charging check blockade. Tried to get 5 of them killed at the same time, but unfortunately wasn't able to do that. But still pretty quick fight, nonetheless. There is a way to get all 5 of them at once, but it's pretty tight. I got 3 of them, which is pretty fine by me. And again, because when you cat dive on those enemies, they die in 1 hit, so that helps out a lot. Right. Continuing on to the sprawling savannah. This is the bunny rabbit level. I nicknamed it because this one has more bunny rabbits than any other level in the game. And is also another backup catsuit level. And yes, I do remember quite a few locations where a backup catsuit is hiding. Right, but anyway, we're continuing on here. Oh, hang on, I don't want to go up here right now. Wait a minute, I actually can save it. Yeah, see that green star down there? We kind of need that, so we're going to do, kind of time this right there, which we actually timed pretty good. I'm not going to lie, that was pretty good. And fast! Fast move. That's always nice to get. Okay. By the way, if you're going for a minimum points run, this is the level that would effectively kill your run, because there are infinite ants spawning at the end, which means if you try and go through it to try and collect some stuff, you don't actually get to the end, unfortunately. So we want the bunny that is the green one, because that bunny will give us a star if we catch it, so we want to get him first, obviously. The rest of this level I don't actually remember on a couple of things. We're gonna fall down here. And speaking of which, we get into a secret. It's like I knew it was there. This is not the best. That was a cool trick though, just jumping off the wall to get that a little bit sooner. Obviously, you're normally supposed to wait for that guy to get down to the lower end so you can bounce on his back to collect it, but we kind of just did that instead. And time for a spam attack, by the way. The star makes this part a lot quicker because you can just do that to get to the top. And time for one of the more trickier coin setups. I do not like this one bit, so we're just going to start by waiting on it. Spawn the coins, pick up these first coins as fast as we can, and then kind of just jump and collect all these before the thing moves again, which we were able to get, and then from there we kind of just wait. And this is the spot I mentioned. So this area has infinite ants spawning out of it, so if you are going for a minimum points run, this is technically where your run would sort of end, because you get extra points for killing them if they are near the flagpole when you high and or other stuff. And that would also technically kill the coinless run too, since in addition to that you also collect coins, I believe, as well. So yeah, good luck with that. Beyond it, that level's not actually normally that difficult. Speaking of which, we're about to get to some slightly more trickier levels after we deal with this level. Right. We do have an option to pick up a Tanuki suit, so we'll go ahead and pick that up. Hopefully this time we can keep it for a little bit longer. Either the Tanuki suit or Teo can be used to get some of these without using a bomb. Otherwise, if you're doing this without power-ups, you need bombs to collect all of these green stars efficiently. Because as we have this, we can just go use that to collect all the power-ups instead. And one of the trickier bunnies to get, especially since it's on a rotating platform, which I don't like one bit. I'm gonna try and get a trick, try and do the trick bunny, which I actually need to wait a little bit on first. He's kind of just moving back and forth, which I find kind of weird. Oh, we did stun him. Nice, okay. So that's the trick that I was mentioning. You can stun bunnies and catch them by using this. Interesting. Wonder if this can actually do that. Oh yeah, that's right, that's a wall. Well, before we do anything, let's pick this up so that we don't have to deal with it later. Alright. That one took a little bit longer. Alright. Does that actually respawn the enemies? Because there is a stamp back there that I want to pick up, and I need to make sure that I check that. So yeah, we were supposed to use a bomb to get that, and we unfortunately failed. What happens when we fail to get a star? That's basically death, so we're gonna die and try again, and hopefully this time actually get the wall properly. It does respawn everything else, but we only need to just get this. Now, let's actually time this correctly, even taking some extra time just to make sure we get it properly. And there we go. I probably shouldn't have hit that POW block too early. That's what really caused a big mistake, and now we have to do this without the Tanuki tail, which is a little bit frustrating. That makes this the second time I've lost a power-up in that way, because I did not happen to get it there, but thankfully we got right back here. Move the enemies from my path and just do this to get to the end. Jeez, just get in there. I was trying to pound to get into the pipe directly, but that didn't seem to work. Let's do this for this run. Okay, well, we're done with that level now. And yes, in case you're wondering, when you don't want to re-enter levels with our characters later, unless you don't know where it is, dying is usually faster, so that you can get your power-up back and try again. Because I didn't really set a reason to do a playthrough without taking any damage, so obviously that means I will probably die on purpose to get some stuff. And here's a little hidden pipe you can take, which is required fix that, and you find a Fire Bros hideout hidden. This is one you're not supposed to find normally. This one a little bit more tougher. And now everything's gonna probably be bad. Well, we have a Tanuki suit, so we should be fine for now, but for the first time we've lost all our cat power-ups now. I probably could have just cat-dived there, and that probably would have been the best idea, but I decided to do that the original way, because I like doing it that way. Kind of just climb up to the top to defeat him. Yeah, it looks like it does still save at the end of each level, it just does it a little bit differently. Right. Now I have the Tanuki suit, so I should be fine for most of the stars, but this is the first time in a while that I've lost the cat suit from the thing, unfortunately. Oh, I mean, from my game. That's what I say. Which is too bad because this level is a little bit more annoying than the others. Every time your character jumps, you get a thing. Oh, and I don't even want that. I don't even want to deal with half of the enemies in here. I forget, if there's anything there, no, okay. Then it's fine, I'll just, I tried doing that! I tried very hard to deal with that. And it still hit me. Stupid game, this game sometimes. Anyways, we have to guide this ball all the way to the end to reach the star. Or have it hit the feet switch, rather. Oh boy, now I have to do this level without Etchless. I am still a Luigi, so it's a little bit easier, but still pretty annoying. Like, now that I don't have the jump, I have to time the jump more appropriately, and I'm probably gonna lose out because I went very slow. yeah, you know what? Let's just die. Let's just die. That is a terrifying scream, by the way. Rip for Luigi, and now we have to do this again. Oh, we have a double cherry, really? In this part of the level? Huh. I don't even know where this can be used, but I probably will need it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it this time. I don't care about that eye anymore. Oh wait, maybe I do care a little bit. Looks like we do need it to get the stamp at all. Again, what do we do when we don't have anything? Actually, I'm gonna try and go for a jump to see if I don't have to do that anymore. I'm Luigi after all, but nope. Okay. Right, so now we're gonna play for this section again, but this time, hopefully keep our clones. Again, how was I supposed to know that? So, this level, as you might have guessed, is one of the harder levels in the game, so even if I had kept my catsuit, I probably would have lost it anyways, because there's not really many good walls to climb here, unfortunately. Anyways, so we have to go for this part while jumping to make sure both of the clones remain alive. It's actually pretty straightforwardly easy to do, I just happen to, do it in a bad way, and because you need to get back, it obviously slows down for a little bit, so you can go straight back to the end if you want, which is cool. Okay, thankfully being a Luigi definitely helps make these fight bugs easier. Now you see why I picked him. If I picked like Toad or Mario, I would have a lot harder of a time getting these golden flight poles. So that's where the big problem comes in. Because now I could potentially miss golden flag poles. It's very easy to get the golden flag poles when you have Catsuit. But thankfully, I think we're gonna get it back pretty soon, so it's fine. And yes, I also kind of lied again. That level we just did is actually probably the hardest level in World 5. Which makes sense. Yes. This one's a little bit more interesting. So this one, everything's inactive for now. But if you attack anything in particular, or get some other stuff in particular, or particularly run into an enemy, these things will start attacking you. Oh wait, no. What am I saying? There, you kind of just saw it. If we run into those spotlights, Bowser kind of gets angry at us, and from there we have to kind of do some stuff. Anyways, in order to get the first part, since we don't actually get the ability to do stuff, we have to use this to get set up right here, and then bounce off of it to get to the left, and from there we can get to the end. Yes, every time we land in that, for even a small little bit, the cat bullets will fire at us. I don't know why we're keeping this for the entire section. This is where it gets a little bit more interesting. They start hiding the bullets and to the left instead, and if you run into any of those, once again, things become more interesting. Okay, this one we do actually need them for a second. We need to run into these Bowser's things to trigger the cat bullets to fire, and then have them land in that spot exactly. And so far, this is not going well. Every single time I've done that, the cat's bullets have either bumped into each other or missed the thing completely, which I do not like. My goodness. Can they just actually go the right way, please? There we go. That should not have taken long, by the way. That took a lot longer than it needed to be. Okay, we got our power-up bat, which is definitely important. This is another spot where you can potentially skip it. But anyway, we got through that. Okay, this one we need another block break for. Because as you can see, these are iron bullets. You can break these blocks to get the star. Now there is ways to skip it, which I just did. You can kind of just jump to it manually. Okay, we didn't get our catsuit back, but at least we got the Tanuki, which allows us to make some easier jumps, and so far it's actually been really good. I feel like taking out the catsuit for the game adds a little bit more challenge, because suddenly you have to think on your feet a little bit. And again, we did also get a Tanuki air. Oh, there's Toad again. Oh, speaking of which. Okay, back to this. We're going for this game pretty fast right away, though it's about to get pretty harder. Alright, this is where I can't go to any of those spots, because I don't believe there's anything there, unfortunately, but at the very least we can enter this spot. Entering King Confunk's castle. This level can be a little bit annoying if you don't know how it works. Okay, we're gonna do some switches for this level. But yeah. Anyways, this has been pretty interesting playthrough so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We got. Alright. First screen star. Alright. Again, I think the main reason why I'm playing with Luigi is I'm not sure if it's been confirmed yet, but I think Mario's the one that's to be done. Also, I did not do that right at all. Holy crap. I was meant to change power-ups, but I didn't get it. Whoops. Also, time for the auto-scroller game. Yeah, that's right. There's some reason there is a star there, hidden in one of the all-stars. And you don't know about that until after it appears there. Which is kind of dumb, to say the least. And just like before, we always wait until the very end to put our catsuit back on, because we need it to chat there, and I'd much rather not lose it. Okay, time for one of the weirder bosses. And yes, this is King Funk, in case you didn't already know his name. He can be kind of tricky, and you know what? I'm not interested in this. By the way, I said he was easy and I died to him. I'm very pathetic. Let's go for this again from the start, because I want to fight him with the catsuit, but we didn't actually fight him with the... Ah! Gosh dang it, man! I'm failing so badly all of a sudden. I know the level is supposed to be tricky, but that's supposed to be the easiest boss in the game, or at least the speedrun makes it look like the easiest boss in the game, and yet I failed at him. Now I feel kind of terrible. Again, the reason why I did that is because I want to show off a little cute trick that you can do if you have the katsu. Otherwise, I probably would not have died in this level voluntarily. If I just had a second catsuit, I would have just put that on and everything would have been fine. But anyways, attempt number 2. We'll skip him this time. Yeah, that's right. You can dive on him and get him hit prematurely. He's not really that difficult. That's what makes him so easy. He does try to get a little bit trickier as the game moves on by adding more rotations, but he's not really that difficult. If you have the catsuit, all you do is dive at him, and that's easy. That's the only reason why I didn't want to... why I kept on resetting that, and also, I believe the stamp is sitting at the end. Otherwise, why would they make us go through all this? Looks like we didn't actually find it, so looks like we'll be dealing with him for a little bit longer yet. I was so agitated about it at the boss that I probably wasn't paying attention to where the stamp was located, meaning I probably missed its obvious hiding spot. That's fine though, because we're just going to pause the game and get it, because we're right here and I don't want to go to World 6 until we finish it, so we're doing that. By the way, we're pretty deep into the game now. Cool. Anyway, we're done with that. And now I'm gonna see you when we get this level's stamp, hopefully. This time Hello guys, I'm back. As you can see, I've gotten the stamp. I wasn't really focused on it because I was so focused on getting fast and kind of angry at losing the catsuit that I kind of forgot to get this. So, otherwise, I probably would have gotten it. So, anyways, I'll be right back when this level's over. Hello guys, we're back. Now that we have gotten the stamp, we're gonna finish the level again to see what it is. And from there, we can actually continue the world now. World 6, I mean, whatever. Yeah. I'm still kind of tired, by the way. But anyways, we're going to be done pretty soon, probably. For only being able to do 3 videos right now at 1 hour apiece, we've pretty far into the game already. Because it's not quite as long as Mario Galaxy was. Mario Galaxy has way more stars and was generally longer of a game. This one's a little bit more fast-paced because of that. Right, now to World 6. This is where the game really ramps up. Forget those other worlds. This is where the game actually gets pretty hard. Now, pretty much any level can kill you. And it starts with kind of an annoying one in the form of Clear Pipe Cruise. To get this level done, we need to either use the Fire Flower or use a couple of other chicks to do this stuff. We're not going to actually use it for the first part, but I will pick it up because I do think there's still one thing we have to do. But for now, we have to use our star for the first little bit. Particularly, we need to use our star to break those blocks. If we break all of them like this, we get up, so we may as well do that. So as I already mentioned, if you use the Fire Flower on the pipe, you can get some balls here, and yeah, I was correct about this. So, to use any of these secret pipes, you have to use your Fire Flower to throw a fireball into there, which will then travel through the pipe and hit an enemy, and if it hits a spike, that'll destroy the spike instantly. Okay, we got through that, though. There's not a good way of skipping most of these clear pipes. I know we skipped the first clear pipe in the game, but that's only because we were able to deal with that pretty straightforward. By the way, I was not interested in going up that clear pipe at all, so I just did that instead. And yes, in case you're wondering, you have to use the clear pipe in a way that lets you get up to the top. I'm actually gonna wait on this one first. Before we get the power up, which is probably hidden here, yep. And yes, this is one of the forced uses of Fire Flower. You absolutely do need Fire Flower for this if you're playing normally. Otherwise, you won't be able to get anything later. It's for this pipe right here. You need it to get to this cloud. Otherwise, you won't be able to... Actually, that might be for another level. Or at the very least, this makes it a lot easier. Oh. I knew I was gonna get punished by that, but it looks like we got something back. Cool. I'm still not gonna use my thing. Oh. There we go. That's what I was trying to get. Alright. Nearly bad. There is a way to do this without even using the clear pipes at all, but it is kind of tricky and would also require the cat suit to get through, so I figure it's just not deal with that. For some reason, Captain Toad's there, just kind of chilling randomly in the level. Yeah. By the way, there were quite a few ways to skip that, so I very well could have done that. I just didn't think of it. So, you know what? I might use it a little bit more in the upcoming levels, depending on what happens. By the way, we're coming up to a Luigi's secret level in a minute or two, because whatever the second ghost house is, that's Luigi's secret thing, which means we have to find a switch and press it. That switch that only Luigi can press. Apparently not in this zone, though. So here we have the slightly harmless bullies. They don't actually deal any damage to us. We just... all we do is push them off and that's it. This one's a little bit more difficult than the previous level. We're practicing pushing them off because for one of the stars we have to push all of them off to get a green star, which we just did actually, interestingly enough. Alright, now let's see, what do we have to do? Is there a trick we can do? Nope. Ah! Jeez. Messing up that cycle is gonna be pretty bad, because I had to take damage now to get to that. I was hoping to get that earlier. I'm gonna jump this to skip one of the spots. Anytime we can skip having to move for the left and right is really nice, because dying no controls is what makes this game really difficult. And now for the final part. I will put on our cat suit because we needed to defeat these bullies slightly quicker. If I could not get hit by them. There's our mystery box. Really, do you have to put a spike here? So uber annoying. I could just jump over it, oh, it's fine, but it's like, ugh. Do you want to take away that Yatsu right at the end, like right when I'm at the flagpole? Speaking of which, there's probably going to be at least one level where you could very easily die at the flagpole if you're not careful. Right. Well, that's the hard level that I mentioned earlier, so you know what? We're going to do it first. After we deal with this. 6B, the Fire Bros hideout again. The third Fire Bro hideout here. Okay, this one's a little bit more tricky because they have multiple versions of each other. Again, just using the cat suit to defeat them really quickly. Of course, that's not the only thing we'll have to do. There's still gonna be a blockade as well. Right, we dealt with that. So yeah, we're going straight into there. No fear, boys. We don't have a fear. Yeah, we're just gonna go in it, because I don't care. But yeah. And yes, in addition to already being a hard level, this level is also an auto score. We can't speed it up unless we do things specifically. Thankfully, it is also a backup catsuit level, meaning we are able to pick up an additional catsuit. Of course, we immediately lost it, which is not fun. So yeah, I'm gonna get it right back, because I definitely need that for later. Oh. You know what? This is stupid. We just lost both catsuits within a minute, so we're gonna assume that as a death and take a death and try again, and hopefully try not to lose them. And now you see why this level is hard. It's not necessarily the Osco part, but the enemies that are difficult, and the entire thing basically got thrown off once I got hit by his speed, because I was supposed to do that to him, by the way, and we did not do that. he just kind of hit me. Now you see why I hate bees so much in this game, just because they're really annoying, they chase you around, and it's very likely that you will die there. Okay, saved myself from death there at least once. But this time, let's try and actually get up to the spot that I wanted to be in. There's quite a few different ways to traverse, but this just happens to be one of the more interesting ways. The part I don't like is not being able to properly turn the camera around to see if there's a new area going around, because I do believe we have to go back here. Yep, there's a green star in here. And this is kind of a trap green star. You have to go when the platform is there, otherwise you just kind of get thrown into the poison and die. Alright. Well, now we actually got for the first part this time, thank goodness, because I was starting to get worried. Keep in mind, those are the regular enemies I technically died to, basically. The only reason why I jumped into the poison, because I know I need the cat suit to finish this level, so I didn't want to bother dealing with it without it. That's why I chose to take a death there. Alright, now we have to kind of do this really fast. I don't like doing that side flip. In fact, that side flip basically screwed me out of these. And obviously what happens when we miss a cycle? We die, because that's the only way to get it back. So, I'm going to try this again, and hopefully this time actually get that correctly. So far, all of our deaths, except for a couple, have not even been at the hands of proper in-game gameplay. It's all been from either missing green stars and being forced to take it F to retry it from the beginning, or doing other stuff. And that one basically was a death as soon as I missed that platform. This time we got it properly though. Now we don't have to deal with that anymore, at least. Okay, this level's final green star, I believe, is hidden at the end. So that means we can't actually get to it until much later. Fortunately, I don't think we're fast enough to catch that, so you have to wait. This is one of the trickier ones to get. This is probably the toughest one out of all the green stars to get in this level. Because in a minute, it's gonna come right at us in a minute. Bam! You'll kind of see it for a minute. Yeah, I'll just do this right now. Yep, you have to do that to get a thing. And again, if we don't have the cat suit, you can't get that. So now you see why I died at the beginning there, because we got it several times. So that one definitely should have been better. And now you see why it's one of the hardest levels in World 6, because yeah, that can just happen. It's an auto-scroller though. Oh, in addition to that, so you wouldn't think it to be normally that hard, but it is. But again, the game's just gonna get more difficult. Again, this is World 6, so I'm not surprised at those deaths, but I still wish I would have done a little bit better. Okay, for our final level, we're gonna go straight into this and see what we can do here. We get this kind of weird Chinese level, sort of. Or actually Japanese level. And yep, we have to use the touchscreen controls again. And we jumped way too late. That's kind of dumb. I don't know why the icon appeared there, but I don't like it. There we go. We need this to move the doors out of the way, obviously. So we're actually going to put it on here and keep it for the entire level. Which you can do. I think the more we do that. Which I like. It's a cool thing this can even be used at all. Otherwise, it'd be kind of difficult to do this level without touchscreen controls. But yeah. Just kind of spamming it like crazy. Oh, for some reason we got Goomba Disguise again. So the Goomba Disguise, in case you are new, does exactly what you expect it to be. Also, we could just ring that gun using that. You can ring it with your touchscreen controls as well, but it's a little bit slower to do. Cool, we got our first star here. This is another one of those levels where it takes quite a long time just to respawn the stuff. And there you can see the Goombas don't harm us because we are Goomba ourselves. So it makes us think that, okay, you know what? I'll just go here. And, whoa! That was weird. That got really weird for a second. Oh, by the way, we have to collect the key coins again. So we get 5 key coins to pick up. Also, we have to remove this, which means taking damage somewhere, which we could just do with that, and we get this level's unique power-up, and essentially sort of a return of the flight power-up. We need to use it to get up to the top here, and this, as I guessed, is required for a lot of the stuff. There's actually one down there, so I'll just go back and grab that, and I'll be fine, I think. Yeah, there's one back here. So we get right back there. No true secret in there, unfortunately. I do feel like there is a secret in here, but I'm not quite too sure. But the only secret I know about is maybe up top there's something. We are able to climb up here, which is interesting. One of these triggers a star, that's why I'm hitting it so many times. Oh, there it is. I knew it was here somewhere. That's where the secret is hidden, interestingly enough. Can we just fall down here and look for the stamp? I think we can, right? Yeah. As you can see, this part is technically still in the same level, so you can fall down here if you miss the stamp and just go looking for it somewhere else. This doesn't look like an easy stamp to find, though. At first glance, it looks like it's hidden in there, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I do want to pick this power-up out, though, because if I do want to have a chance of finding it, I'd like to find it by going to the right, maybe. This is another spot, like I said, where sometimes one of the stamps or whatever just... It's so hard to find for some strange reason. It's probably here. That's what I'm guessing. So I'm gonna kill all the enemies and see what happens. Okay, nothing but a 1-up. Dang it. I was right about the first thing, at least. Cool. The very least, we finished it. So there are one of those levels where it might take a little longer to do stuff. Again, I don't like leaving stuff on my levels, so we're gonna go back and collect it and see where we can do stuff now. Oh, that in mind, I'm gonna pause this video again, and we're gonna be right back when we are at the stamp. Hello, guys. I am back. So this is actually one of the sneakiest stamps to find, because as you might have guessed, there's a little area you have to get to that leads outside, and you can get to it from either of these areas. As it turns out, you don't even have to do stuff, so yeah, you get outside using that, and that's how you get this level stamp. Otherwise, it can be kind of difficult to do stuff. Of course, I ended up losing that catsuit, but that's fine. I don't really care. I can just get it back. So there we go. That's probably, actually, was probably one of the hardest stamps to find. Let's be honest. There's probably not as many stamps as hard as that to collect, which gives us that. And from there, we are now going to end the episode. Really like if you enjoyed, comment, subscribe, and I'll come back to the game perhaps a little bit more different, because there's going to be quite a few things I do while I'm away. Until then, though, you like you enjoy, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.